Hey guys, welcome to the vlog, welcome to the B studio. I rearranged a little bit in here because upstairs we're building the new A studio that will be fully absorbing, acoustically treated to the max. So down here, this studio will get another role a little. It will be exclusively for recording vocals and more creative tasks, sessions. People can also rent this if you're interested, link down below. And don't forget about my sample pack. It's just, I think, 4 more days on sale. Instead of 20 bucks, just 5, plus all of the old sample packs included. So if you're interested in guitar recordings, loops, one-shots, kick samples, all of the stuff that I actually use in my productions, first link in the description. And today we'll talk about probably some of the most important plugins I think every producer should own that aren't that flashy and obvious. So the plugins I would love to present to you and advise you to get today are actually metering plugins. They're very handy. They're a little boring. No one of the big companies is advertising them. They're just usually included. Or you have to ask a producer friend and they might actually advise you to get it and how to use it. If no one did that so far, I'll do it today. And I also got some that you might not know. And even if you're already a little more experienced, there are probably some you haven't heard of that are using AI at the moment to help you even more. And metering is really important. I use it on every single one of my songs, always. It's always part of the master chain at the very end. So I can basically see a little more what I hear and not get tricked too easily. You all know that if you're like just soloing kick and bass for like 10 minutes to EQ something and you then listen again to the entire song, it sounds way too bright. And like every couple of minutes checking the analyzer could actually help you to balance and have like a feeling for what is going on. And especially like kick, bass, like the ratio between those two, which one of them should be in the foreground, which one a little more back to have more room for the mix. That's usually done with an analyzer. Of course, you're also listening to it, but that's a part I could solely do by just looking at the analyzer, like getting that balance right. So let's maybe start first with that kind of part because it's really important. First plugin, my all-time favorite. It's for free. If there is any producer out there that doesn't have it yet, get it immediately. It's called Span. It's an analyzer, very capable. I love that you can swipe through frequencies like that. And this way isolate and locate certain frequencies and listen to them in isolation, and upon that decide what you do. Whenever I mix kick and bass, it's on. And usually I'm looking for the peaks of the kick. The kick is sitting here right at 50 Hertz, which is just perfect for electronic dance music. That's the frequency that hits the best in the club. Usually between 40 and maybe 55, but get as close as possible to 50. And then I'm just checking where the bass sits. Obviously, depending on the note of the bass, it moves a little, but I try to make the bass looking in the analyzer standard span settings that it is a little bit louder than the kick, a couple of dB, like being a nudge above it. If they're both the same, it sounds really boring. You can also do the opposite and have the kick like the most present and the bass lower, but this only works if you have like a certain kind of kick. Listen to a bunch of songs while like looking at the analyzer, drag them into your DAW, and you'll learn that they all basically do the same. It's like a golden ratio between kick and bass, and being able to see it makes it a lot easier, especially if you're mixing with headphones in a room that is not acoustically treated. If you have small speakers that can tell you what's going on that low in your song, just like slap on Span and you're good to go. Then the next one is also an analyzing tool that is way more complex than Span. It gives you everything you could ever ask for. You can see so much stuff. It is like the best help possible on the market. It is not for free, unfortunately, but you can buy it in a bundle and then you get a really fair deal. I just got it like 2 weeks ago, and ever since, it's always on my master. You have this little sample grabber tool. You put it on your last kind of slot of your master chain, and it grabs the sound and sends it to a standalone analyzer, which I really like. In the new studio, I will have a separate monitor and have that one on there always. And like, it gives you this Christmas tree kind of thing. Right back. That shows you left and right what's going on in your stereo field in the most beautiful way I've ever seen. You got your analyzer up there, vector scope, of course, all of your information about the loudness, your LUFS, like the max integrated and all that kind of true peak stuff. And there's a lot more to it. You can like tweak it, change it, make it bigger. There are different layouts, presets. Like that's like it, like I really love it. That's like the nerdy stuff that gets me excited, because just like knowing what's going on in your music helps. It helps a lot, especially if you try to squeeze out the last couple of percent in a song. Like seeing mistakes. Sometimes there's something panned wrong or something is like in phase. You can see it immediately. Then another favorite secret tip, I think I already showed it in another video. It just made my Logic crash. For all of the people that want... There is another metering plugin I would love to show you, but it's now the 3rd time that it's crashing Logic. I open it, crash, 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 crash. So I'm not going to recommend it. The next one is a plugin, but also a website. You can just go there, I'll link it down below, and drag any song you got in there. If you have the plugin version, you don't have to upload it anywhere. It says, but not uploading, just processing, so your files are safe. If you're a mastering engineer and working on sensitive music that isn't released yet, it's good. And it will show you results for the punishment your song will receive on all different platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Tidal, iTunes, Amazon, and so forth. So you can kind of have the most amount of dynamic range and still be as loud as everyone else. Most people still ignore this, but maybe in a couple of years people will reduce their loudness and just get a little more dynamic back into their songs. The last one for today, I already showed that one because it's so special. I'll do it again. Tonal Balance Control by Isotope. They don't really advertise that thing. It's just there. I think it comes with one of the packs. I don't even know if you can get it separately. But it will, in the fine mode, show you a frequency response that is typical for the style you select. And if you're within that range, your song's overall balanced right to fit that kind of style. It's kind of AI algorithm based. They detect a bunch of songs and came up with these kind of graphs. It's very, very, very handy to have at your disposal, because if you're, for example, mixing for hours and hours and your ears get tired and you don't hear the top end that good anymore and push the high frequencies more and more and more, it will show you immediately. If something is jumping out by a lot out of those graphs, something is wrong and you should reconsider like grabbing those elements that jump out and just dial them down. Don't put an EQ on your master and just EQ it until it fits. It's like a tool that shows you if there's something going wrong, and then you go back into the mix and fix it. So for example, if I now, let's see how it detects and how it judges my song. Things that'll do to you. Yeah, pretty much like within the range. It's kind of spot on. So consider it. Try it out. If you're having problems finding like the right balance overall, it can also give you like the crest factor, which is like how much your stuff is compressed. So if you over compress it, it will show it to you. If you're compressing too little, it will show it to you. I really like that. I hope they will like further develop it and maybe include like a magic cue to even further show you what's going on and to give you a preview of what's happening. I think that's a very, very powerful tool, especially for beginners, to just get the balance right within your song. And that's pretty much it. I'll finish this beer, go upstairs, construct more and more and more until I'm finished with the new studio. There is nothing in particular I can share about the constructing today, because it's basically the same as on the other days, like further constructing the floor, the walls around. But tomorrow I'll give you an update.